today's video is all an introduction to my services, and really, an introduction to the idea of SEO strategy. And honestly, we should expand on that. It's not really SEO strategy anymore. It's more about like web strategies. And so it's about the overall idea of creating a website or a social network or a landing page and ultimately promoting it through whether it's SEO or SEM tactics, search engine marketing, through some kind of paid content. And so ultimately, if you're here in the Denver area, I'm located in the northwest of the city, in little Arvada, Colorado. And so if you're looking for an SEO strategist, if you're looking for a consultant, or you're considering getting involved with a firm or an agency, I'd like you to take about 15 minutes and just listen to what I have to say. And so, I want to show you how it actually works. I got a whole bunch of stuff to flip through from the beginning of the funnel to the end of the funnel. The idea of building some kind of landing page and then, buying traffic or developing traffic through some kind of content marketing strategy is absolutely crucial and will absolutely make or break a company. And ultimately, but I want to show you how you go about creating that and what the different pitfalls are, the different bottlenecks along the path, all the way to your visitor actually, these days you can record the visitor once they get to the website. I can actually have software, and this is an actual consumer that came to my website, right, and they did all these actions. They scrolled through 3 pages of content and took actions. I could see their cursor moving left or right as they're scrolling and looking at things and clicking this and clicking that, right? And so that kind of data is critical. Oh, but none of that is any good if you don't pay attention to Search Console, or if you've never pulled a link report. Maybe you're not even in the ball game. You're on the bench. You're on page 2, page 3, and maybe you don't even know what keyword phrases are going to A, drive traffic, or B, drive traffic and a sale. There are buyer keyword phrases, and there are keyword phrases that are just informational, right? Okay, so let's take a second. Let's just quickly cover what your firm or agency, if you're here looking for Denver SEO services, and you're getting ready to hire an agency or a firm, all right, definitely want to know that A, they're pulling link reports. And why would you pull a link report? Now, I wrote a whole bunch of articles here on Bowman Web Services, and you can read individual things, and I'm going to create a whole series of videos about what I look at first, okay? And then ultimately, I'm only going to take, on 20 or 30 clients, here locally and nationwide, and then that's going to be it. I'm going to do straight up, one-on-one consulting. Maybe I have 1 or 2 people help me out, in the office type deal, but really I'm a hands-on person. And so, number 1, they got to pull link reports. Somebody's building you a website and they're telling you they're going to rank you locally or blah, blah, blah. It's all a bunch of bullshit if they don't know the link reports. And link reports come down to 2 aspects. Your link report, okay, and the link report of everybody that's on the first page of Google for every keyword phrase you want to rank for, right? So if I want to rank for Arvada Colorado handyman, right, I've got to type that into Google. I got to see who shows up in the top 10 search results. I got to then look at each one of those pages to see how relevant they are to that search. If it's Yelp, if it's Angie's List, if it's a local actual company, if it's a chain company like Mr. Handyman, right? I want to know who all those are and how well ranked that particular page is to the keyword phrase Arvada handyman, right? And so I want to do that research. I want to see what kind of links they have, who's linking to them, and whether or not I can get the same link to my website, right? So it's twofold there. By looking at somebody's link report, I could tell that 53 domains linked to them. They've got that many links through those domains. I know link strength. It'll then break it all the way down into actual links, right? And so here, if I scroll over, it'll tell me the old ultimate link strength. Let me see if I can scroll down here just a minute. 1 second. Come on, computer. There we go. And so if I scroll up here now, I didn't go far enough. Don't you hate when that happens? Okay. And so every page, every website that writes about your company and links directly to your company is going to have some kind of something going on, a score. That's incredible. And so, it's do follow, and it's actually from one of my websites. Another one of my websites. That is, I have to go back. So anyway, these type of links, as I'm going through looking at competitors in a given niche, this is why they rank on the first page of Google for that keyword phrase, right? Because of this type of stuff, these keyword phrases that are showing up. Now, this is not my handyman service, this is my travel service. I pulled the wrong report, but it gives you an idea of how a company is showing up on the first page. So you only have two ways of doing it. You're either going to buy an ad on the first page of Google, or you're going to create some kind of content and try to rank on the first page of Google. And so, different websites link to you under different keyword phrases, or under no keyword at all, right? And it gives you certain link strength, and it's either do follow or no follow. I don't know if you follow all of that, but you've got to know that kind of data in order to compete at all. Okay. Also, I don't hear anybody talking about Search Console. Here's Search Console. This Search Console tells me everything about my website. Of course, it's linked to it, and if you're doing anything illegal on your website, Google's going to ban you from the web. Okay, I get it. You don't want to use it in that particular instance, but here, I'm a legitimate company. I got a couple legitimate companies, and I absolutely want to know what Google says about my website, right? And so here we go. This is my travel site. I sell vacation promotions for a vacation club down in Mexico. And so I have all kinds of stuff going on in that niche for minivac promotion. Okay, and that's like vacation club or timeshare, right? So I have a whole little thing going, and these are my positions. So each one of these is a keyword phrase that I rank on Google for. It tells me how many clicks I'm getting, and this is in the last 28 days. My click-through rate and position on Google. So if somebody types in all-inclusive timeshare promotions, I should be like 2.7, average of number 2 or number 3 on Google, for that search. Same thing, Cancun, timeshare promotions, Mexico, timeshare promotions, right? All these things. Now, knowing this kind of data is absolutely critical, because I could tell you, I don't have Caribbean, the word Caribbean, on my website, on my front page. I don't have the word Caribbean. If I go to my front page, the page that's ranking for this, right? Type in Caribbean timeshare promotions, make sure it's the front page of the website, click it, go in, edit it, and put the word Caribbean somewhere on that first page, and my position on Google will immediately increase, right? I should jump up from number 6 to number 3 or number 2, right? Because now I'm targeting it specifically. And so that click-through rate should go up, and so should my ultimate clicks through to the website. So knowing this kind of data, you have to know it. And honestly, if you're SEO firm, if you're talking to a sales guy who's promising you all this crazy stuff, he probably doesn't know his ass from the hole in the ground, okay? And I'm telling you, he's somebody that's competent, must be looking at the Mondavo reports, your link building reports, your competitors' link building reports, right? Should also be looking at your Search Console data. Should definitely be looking at things like this. This here is going to be all stats, okay? This is mainly, I guess, WordPress type data, but this will tell you, unique visitors per day. And so this is only 2 days into the month, so I'm getting an average about 33 people a day to this website. It tells me, monthly data, and then it tells me different things like keyword phrases I rank for, which I already know through Search Console, but that's only telling me Google's data. This is going to tell me a mix of Google, Yahoo, Bing, and a few others. It'll also tell me, where the traffic's coming from in the world. It'll tell me, a lot of dumb data that I really don't need, but it'll tell me average time on site. It'll also tell me 404s. And so stuff like that, maybe I got an old website, and that website's been sitting, it's had 100 conversions over the last 5 years, and I got a whole bunch of pages that are getting hits and are going to a 404 page. And so by knowing that, I come in here and say, oh, well, this is all junk. This is just some kind of, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. But the first page of content is right here. Right? That's my first page. It only gets one hit in the last 30 days. So it's not a big pool. But let's say you pull this little report and you see that you got, 30, 60, 30, 40, 60, right? And they're all actual pages of content from old articles. You want to redirect them with a plugin that'll redirect it to a relevant page or back to the home page, right? Or you want to redo your 404 page so it looks a little more clever than just, oops, you ended up nowhere. Again, you have to know the keyword phrases in your niche. Honestly, in the handyman niche, it's not just about the word Arvada handyman, it's also about all the local cities around that idea, and it's also about the neighborhoods within those cities. Like Hackberry Hill handyman. You're not going to be able to get data on that through this. But knowing that you're targeting the word handyman or strategy or whatever it is you're targeting, and a demographic keyword phrases, if you're serving something local, you've got to add them together and kind of like target them specific somewhere on the website, and then you should be able to see them showing up in Search Console, as a targeted thing. And honestly, if I go back to Search Console, you'll see that this travel company, it shows up for my niche areas, right? I'm in Denver marketing something in the Riviera Maya. So you see Cancun, Riviera Maya, you'll see Playa del Carmen, you'll see Tulum show up. I don't know how Jamaica got there, but honestly, you should have all those things in your data, knowing that, it should say Arvada Handyman or Westminster Handyman or et cetera, right? All right, so knowing that data, you also know that it's not just about the niche handyman, right? It's also about all the hundreds of things within the handyman category, like small painting jobs, or replacing a kitchen sink faucet, or rehanging a shutter. You can't get data on that because the amount of people searching for Arvada Colorado shutter repair is not very big, but it is a niche. And if you try to control that niche, it's easy because there's no competition, right? So it's an easy win. So one thing is to build a handyman website. It's another thing to build a handyman website with the idea of ranking for Arvada Handyman and then creating like 100 pages of content that are highly related to the handyman niche. Like fixing a toilet, fixing a sink, repairing a floor, and then tagging them all as Arvada flooring repair, right? And then putting the word handyman somewhere on that web page. That will help reinforce the overall idea that you are a resource in the handyman niche in your area, right? But it has to be demographically targeted, and it has to be keyword specific and keyword general in order to take a niche and control it. All right. So I had told you before, I do travel stuff. This is my little travel website. It's nothing fancy. It's very, very simple. That's another thing to consider. And a lot of things people are not telling you about. If you're in a handyman niche, people are probably just looking for my phone number to call me, right? If I'm in the travel niche, they're actually probably reading some of the content on the page. Okay, so two different niches, two different results, two different types of consumers, two different consumer actions. Okay, here we have a travel site. All right, I get a lot of traffic and very low conversion. So increasing traffic is great. I could buy traffic all day long. But if that traffic is not converting, it becomes very expensive. So my number one thing should be conversion rate optimization. Okay, so how do you know what's converting? So first off, we looked at the link reports. We know how to compete with the competitors. We know how to get on the first page of Google. All we have to do is go out and create enough content and get enough links to actually be in the same level of website as the ones that are already on the first page of Google. And there'll be niches that are really hard to get, and there'll be niches that are very easy to get, right? Knowing the data in Search Console, where we are currently, very, very important. all of this. Anyway, ultimately, once the customer gets to the website, okay, what happens then? Do you go completely blind? You got to use a thing like Hotjar. Hotjar records the actual consumer's stuff. We kind of started talking about at the beginning, where every action of that consumer is being recorded as they scroll through the website. And I'll just hit play for a second. And you can just see as this person is just kind of reading and looking at different things. He just checked out my name, was looking at the form, right? And so knowing what the consumer is doing, and knowing, even more than that, like if I pause this and I show you that this thing will record probably every other customer that comes through the website. It'll tell me how many pages they visit, how long they were on the website, if they came from a computer or a phone, okay, if they used Firefox or Chrome. Like, I don't know if that's important, but ultimately you can sit there and watch their actions. This person stayed 7 minutes. Why would they spend 7 minutes and not call me, or make a phone call? So this can definitely show you different things that are going on with the website. So, yeah, I think that kind of covers the funnel right there. Obviously, there are things like retargeting. Retargeting is also, not just paying attention to what the actions the customer did, but it'd be nice to follow these, this customer or that customer. They spent 3 minutes on the website or 7 minutes on the website. I would love to follow them to Facebook, with some retargeting ads, or follow them around the web a little bit to see if I couldn't bring them back and close them as a client. Anyway, a whole bunch of things to consider, when you're thinking about hiring a, Denver or anywhere SEO firm or web marketing firm. Definitely, want to know that they're highly involved in your ultimate success. And, again, all of this can be pulled every month to see if it's growing or not, and honestly, each one's a different specialty within SEO or within content marketing or within, marketing as a major category. Something like retargeting isn't something that has anything to do with SEO, but it can definitely improve your ultimate sales and conversions once somebody enters the funnel and starts floating through the website. Other things like email marketing can also be valuable. I don't do a lot of email marketing. I do collect emails, and so maybe ultimately I'll get more into that. But again, that's another specialty. Email marketing can also produce a retargeting tag, and actually you can use the retargeting system based on somebody's email. All right, a whole bunch of things to think about. If you're considering SEO or website marketing here in Arvada, Westminster, or North Denver, or Denver generally, check out some of my information. Give me a call, pick my brain. Love to see if I can't get you on board. All right, thanks for stopping by. BowmanWebServices.com.